Hey guys, thanks for watching the Chen Dynasty. It's Mike Chen. Have you ever wanted to reorganize your room in order to achieve peace and balance? Feng Shui is basically the system of laws that governs the arrangement and orientation of things in the room or in an area in relation to how the energy or qi flows. Feng Shui was often used in Chinese culture when determining the location and design of buildings because people felt that the placement of the building itself and of course the furniture, room orientation, and arrangement had to fit precisely in order to have the perfect home environment. So in other words, you can say that Feng Shui is the art of placement. The Chinese words Feng Shui means wind and water. Wind and water are two natural elements that flow, move, and circulate everywhere on Earth. They are almost the most basic elements for human survival. Qi is another element within that and is necessary for life-giving forces. Wind and water are the direct carriers of this qi, and all living elements contain them. Now you might be thinking that Feng Shui is a very complex system and that it is just way out of your league. Well, it is kind of true. If you really want to dig deep into the details of Feng Shui, there's just so much and you have to study it for decades. But in this video, we're going to talk about some small steps that you can take to improve your life. So here are 8 Feng Shui tips that could make your life better. Tip number 1, get a plant. Feng Shui is all about space and airflow, and minding the air quality is precisely what we need to focus on. Plants make great natural air purifiers and can also create unity with nature. Nature in the home environment invites harmony and balance, so plants are excellent in this manner. Here are some plants that are particularly important to Feng Shui. First off, we have bamboo. Bamboo is important and is also a popular symbol in Chinese art and poetry. Also, it's beloved by pandas, which are the most adorable creatures ever. Bamboo is supposed to be a tree that can ward off negative thoughts and energy. It can promote resilience and courage among people and is a sign of prosperity and abundance. Bamboo is also considered to be lucky in Feng Shui, but just beware, bamboo is a plant that needs a lot of love and attention. Another good plant to have is a jade plant. The jade plant is also considered the money plant. It is believed to attract prosperity to the office. This plant is also an evergreen plant that is believed to radiate good energy that positively affects all aspects of life. But make sure this plant doesn't grow taller than a meter or it can disrupt the qi balance in your room. One great place to put your plant in your house is on the empty cabinets in your kitchen. In the Feng Shui perspective, the space is often filled with dust, so qi gets stuck in there and creates dead energy that will hold you back in life. Tip number 2, clean your air. Okay, we've been talking about how great a plant would be to have, but maybe some of you are like me, and if you get a plant, you know it's gonna die. So if you are a serial plant killer, what you could do is just open your windows more often. The fresh air from outside brings movement into your room that creates good energy flow as well as rejuvenation. It's understandable that some living circumstances do not permit this, as sometimes the outside may be too polluted or noisy, so you can always get an air purifier. With this clean air, you will be sure to have the right balance of qi in your room. Tip number 3 has to do with all your electronics. In the modern world, everybody has computers, TVs, Xboxes, etc. Feng Shui is an ancient practice that has no interest in such advanced technology, so in order to complete a fully harmonious living space, it is best to remove any kinds of disruptive gadgets from your room because they emit a strong energy that isn't always so positive. Even though it does sound like an extremely difficult feat, you are guaranteed to feel much more comfortable afterwards, so maybe move all the electronics into one room and sleep in the other. Something you should take into consideration is to not place electronics in the bedroom. The bedroom should be a relaxing, positive sanctuary for you, and these emissions of energy from electronic devices can be disruptive to your sleep. Your bedroom should not be a place where you work, and if you do have a computer in this space, you might be inclined to do last-minute checks on your work projects, so you should keep temptation away and break this unhealthy pattern by putting such electronic devices in other parts of your home instead. And there is an extent of positive qi that these electronics can bring to the family room as they promote enjoyment with one another and interaction. However, there are still some tips to follow with the placement of these devices. If everyone is absorbed in TV watching or game playing and there's no human interaction, negative elements will be brought into the room. When not in use, store any electronics in cabinet doors and try not to have any tangled wires. That's also a safety hazard. The next tip is add various shapes in your home. Regarding the furniture in your living living space, make sure to have an abundance of shapes. Shapes represent different elements according to Feng Shui, and you need a mix of all those elements to achieve a wonderful living space. The 5 elements in Feng Shui are water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. These elements can be associated with shapes and colors. Squares represent earth, rectangles represent wood, triangles are fire, wavy is water, and round items represent metal. Some easy solutions can be metallic clocks or triangular candles. When you have all these different shapes in your room, you will have the feeling of completeness and balance that Feng Shui strives to achieve. Next tip, take off your shoes. It's common in most Asian cultures to remove shoes before entering the house. This is because it is understood that low-level energies tend to sink into ground level, and some may inevitably get stuck to our shoes as we walk around. Also, why would you want to walk all over your house with dirty shoes? So when we take off our shoes before we walk around our house, not only will we be preventing dirt from entering our home, we will also prevent the bad energies from work, traffic, and bad days from entering our living environment. Of course, it isn't very sensible to pile your shoes outside the front door, so instead you should maybe get like a small cupboard somewhere just inside the main entrance so you can store your shoes as soon as you walk in. Just make sure your shoes are nice and organized when you put them on the shelf. Next tip, surround yourself with light. Feng Shui is all about energy, and light is the strongest manifestation of energy. Light in your home, be it natural or artificial, greatly influences the quality of your home energy. Both the basics of lighting and air quality should be at the top of your list for Feng Shui priorities. So make sure you open your blinds and let the light shine in, and try your best to find the lighting for corners that are hard to reach. Even artificial lights will be a great form of energy for your home, because if you let these spaces be dark, it can represent the neglect of certain aspects of your life. Next Feng Shui tip, follow a bed arrangement. The bed is the most important piece of furniture in your room, so it is important to have good placement for it in order to have a good flow of qi in your bedroom. Now, I am so on top of this. My bed is an air bed, so not only is it easily movable, it's made of air. Anyway, while each bedroom's Feng Shui energy is unique, there are a few main tips to keep in mind when positioning your bed. One is to make sure you have access to both sides of your bed. Also, you need to make sure your bed is placed diagonally across the door. You should be able to see the door while you are lying in bed. This way, when the boogeyman comes, you'll know. Of course, sometimes this is not possible, and in those cases, you can place a mirror in a position where you can see the door of your room while laying in bed. Just make sure you're not directly in the line with the door. Finally, make sure you do not have anything stored under your bed. Storage boxes are fine, but don't keep unnecessary junk under your bed just because you cannot find a place to store it. This creates negative energy under your bed, and you won't be able to get a good night's sleep. Also, the space under a bed is creepy enough. You don't need any more negative energy down there. Next tip, get rid of clutter. Clutter is the worst thing to have in Feng Shui, and you need to get rid of it. If your house is dirty, then you are leaving negative qi to collect. The clutter can mean that you have a lot of stuff that you don't love or use, and you are only creating blocks of negative energy for yourselves. In this case, you just have to let it go. This can apply to the clothes you don't wear, or broken electronics, or anything else that you've been holding on to for no reason, or just purely emotional reasons. There's also a Japanese legend that says if you collect a lot of things in your living space that you don't use, 100 years later they will turn into demons. So in my case, probably a vacuum cleaner demon, dishwasher demon, ice tray demon. But there you go, guys. Those are some Feng Shui tips that will hopefully improve your life. And try these things out and let me know how it goes. I do want to say, I want to apologize for not uploading for about a month. It was the holiday season and a lot of things just kind of caught up with me. Did a lot of traveling. For those of you who don't know, I went to Japan and that was insanely awesome. If you want to see what I did there, go check out my vlog channel, Mikey Chin X. The link is in my description box below. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy belated New Year's, happy belated holidays. Oh, and happy Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year coming up. See you later.